Hello, everyone, dearest colleagues and friends. It is an honor for me to speak before you and share some of the fundamentals of Google Classroom as well as Google Forms and Spreadsheet. I am Garcia-Vigonte, living in Tambubong, just a barangay away from SRNTS. I used to be a vet ed school teacher, and I should say I have a lot of respect for you guys, given the amount of work you have to do. Despite this, teachers continue to be unsung heroes, not only during this pandemic, but also before and beyond. To continue, I am a graduate of Doctor of Philosophy major in Educational Leadership and Management with specialization in research. ADO Estes Sparta Scholar leading to Data Scientist track. A university instructor handling technology research in the undergrad and statistics with computer applications in the graduate school. Completed Teachers Without Borders short course at De La Salle University, Manila. A pampered wife and a happy mom. Good morning, everyone. For today's agenda, we have three. One, Google Classroom, two, Google Forms, and three, Spreadsheet. Let's get started. Are you ready? First, we have the Google Classroom. This is a learning management system that aims to simplify creating, distributing, grading assignments, and engaging students in learning online or remotely. This is a free application designed to help students and teachers in communicating, collaborating, organizing, and managing assignments, plus transitioning to a paperless environment. At the end of the discussion, we are expected to realize the following objectives: be introduced with Google Classroom, create a, be able to create a class, add students, make class announcement, give assignments, and grade and provide feedbacks. Some among the benefits of using Google Classroom are simplicity, efficiency, visual appeal, organization, integration, and communication. It is easy to set up and use, simple. There is a paperless assignment workflow. The visual appeal is intuitive and it has a clean design. It organizes work for students and teacher. It has full integration with Google Drive and it enhances communication with students. As I am aware, DepEd teachers have received preliminary training on this platform due to the fact that there are already pilot classes utilizing blended learning. This session may not be the first time you see or use this LMS. Therefore, allow me to share with you some refresher information for those who are currently using it, as well as some fundamental tips for those who are new to it. Additionally, some of the best practices we've developed since the inception of G Suite have been implemented at Bulacan State University since the pandemic's beginning of classes. By the way, uh, it was called G Suite then, but now it is already called Google Workspace. As a motivation, once you've become used to it, you'll never want to return to traditional classroom setup. And once face-to-face sessions are adapted, you'll almost certainly be including them in your routinary classroom instruction. Ito po yung mapapasabi kayo na walang kahirap-hirap maging teacher. How to access Google Classroom? Two ways. One, type classroom.google.com in your URL. And number two, from your Gmail or Google Drive, you just click the 9 dots or what we call the waffle button. Let's have a short demo. So, this is your URL. This one. Let's just add another tab. From the URL, you type there classroom.google.com. Enter. So it will bring you to the Google Classroom. In my case, there are no classes because I archived it prior to this webinar. So let's proceed with the second way. Let's close this first. From your Gmail or Google Drive, click the 9 dots. So I'll use my Drive. This is the 9 dots. You just click on it and then you look for the Google Classroom. It's located medyo sa ilalim na siya. If you have an ordinary Gmail account, it is located somewhere here. So let's click on it. Then it will bring you to the same Google Classroom as the first one. Let us create a class from Google Classroom. Click plus sign. This one. You have there two options, join class, create class. Click create class. Alright, so this will pop up. You just have to fill this out. In my case, I noticed that only class name and section is displayed in the Google Classroom. That is why for the section, I also include the subject for easy reference. So let's say class name is Bulsu Site Extension Service to SRNTS. Section is, let's say my subject is Google Classroom. And then I also include there the section. Let's say section A. Create. It's processing. So after some seconds, your Google class is already created. So when you check on this, we call this the burger button, yung tatlong guhit na to. Okay, so we have here the burger button, we have here the waffle button. When you click the burger button, you will see their classes. So as a preview, you already have one class. So if we're going to click on it, this is how your classroom looks like. Let us add students to your class. The first way is to send them the class code. So this is the class code. Previously, you can find it here at the top, but there are some changes that happened recently, and the class code is now located on this left part of the screen. So this is the code. You just click the display button and then copy. Let's say you have your Facebook. Let me first sign in. Alright. So from your Facebook, just click on the messenger. Let's say you choose one of your students or a parent of your student whom you can send the link for them to distribute it to the class. Let's say I'll choose this one. So you just copy paste, Control Victory V, send. When they click on that link, automatically they will get inside your classroom. Right? The second way to add a student is through the People tab. So in the People tab, allow me to thank the owner of this institutional account, by the way, giving credits to Miss Nerenisa De Leon. Yung po kasing aming institutional account, if I will be using it with you, I may not accept you because we are on different institution. So, going back, the second way to add students is through the plus sign here. But you have to enter the name or the email of each students, which tells us that it would take time. Although it is safer because you have the control of who gets inside your classroom. So it's up to you. In my case, I simply send them the link and then they'll get inside the classroom. But in order to avoid being invaded by outsiders or those who do not belong to your class, there is a way to prevent it. So, for example, I have already sent them the class code, and then upon checking, the number of students enrolled jives already with the number of people in my class. Then I just click the settings, and then under General, you manage invite code. So from here, you click the drop down arrow. There are two options, turn off and reset. You click the reset button. So when you reset it, outsiders who were given the link, the class code that you have sent them, will no longer enter your class. So that's a way of preventing outsiders to get inside your class when you use the class code. How to make announcement. From the Stream tab, on this part, you write your announcement. Okay, so today is October 27, 2021. Then you write there your message. Hi, here goes your link for tomorrow's meet. Then I save it first as a draft, and then go to classwork, click on Google Calendar. You look for the date tomorrow. So October 28, you write there your class, your subject, Google Classroom. Sorry. Google Classroom, and then the date, 10, 28, 21. You write in the date because if you will record your meeting, it's easy for you to trace the recordings that you are looking for. Minsan kasi iba yung lumalabas na date doon sa recording, but when you have this date on your event, then it would be easier for you to look for whatever files you are using, referring to the date you created it. And then add guests. Let's add time first. For example, the time is from 9 to 12. So, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So, that is 3 hours. If you set it from 9 to 10, and then your meeting is 9 to 12, and there are latecomers, they get inside at, let's say, 10:30, they will no longer get inside the meet. So, in my case, I always set it to the maximum time that they get inside para there is no need for me to accept them. So, add guests. Where will I get the guests? In your Google Classroom, again, from People tab, I have here one student already. You just check on it, and then in the Actions drop-down arrow, simply check email. It will bring you to the Google Mail of your it will bring you to the Gmail of your students. In this case, I only have one student, so I just copy it, highlight lang po, and then Control C. Kung marami po yan, i-highlight nyo lang po lahat. Click nyo lang, tapos i-drag nyo lang po siya, and then copy. So, since you have already copied it, you go back to your calendar and then paste Control Victory V. And then, add Google Meet video conferencing. And then, add a description. You could write there, "Hi, here goes our Google Meet link." This will be sent individually to your students. And then, save. Would you like to send invitation emails to Google Calendar guests? Send. The following guests are from outside your organization. Kasi nga po, walang edu.gov.ph yung student. So, are you sure you would like to invite them? Invite all guests. So, in that case, all your students will get inside your Google Meet without you accepting them. Minsan kasi nasa kasarapan ng pagtuturo, biglang nagpapa-admit. So, tayo is nadidistract. So, in my case, nakakapasok na sila dahil naka-add na sila as guests. And then, if you would remember, bitin pa yung ating announcement. Just click on your event and then copy conference info. Click on that. You go back to your announcement stream tab and then click on the draft. So, here goes your link for tomorrow's meet. Enter. Alright. Yan. So, you may make it bold para maliwanag. And then, I usually copy it, Control C, and then click on Add Link, Control V, Victory V, paste, Add Link. So, your students could simply click on this class video meeting and automatically makikita na kayo doon sa Google Meet. And then, post. So, that's how we make announcement. Next topic, giving assignments. That is under classwork. So, click Create. Under Create, you could see their assignment, quiz assignment, question, material, or you may also reuse posts. And then topic. So, aside from giving assignments, I will also share with you other things we teachers can do in the classwork tab, like creating topics to organize and order works the way you want your students to see it. This is how I usually create topics, and later I may share with you my Google Classroom so you may have an idea of how are you going to organize your own. So from topic, I will start with frequently asked questions, and topic again, other matters, add topic again, projects, add, and then topic again, exams, add, create topic, quizzes, and activities, add, create topic, preliminary materials, ano pa? Preliminaries, create topic. So preliminaries, yung parang at the beginning of the class, what are your reminders or class policy. Okay, so usually I organize my classwork like this. So under frequently asked questions, let's say you want to edit it, you want to rename. So frequently asked questions or facts. Since nasa secondary naman po yung mga bata natin, we could actually add this topic frequently. Let's correct it first. Kasi meron pong mga bata na sobrang kulit. Paulit-ulit yung tanong. So, if you have this topic in your classwork, in your Google Classroom, maiiwasan po yung mayat-maya nagtatanong sila sa inyo. You just tell them to please read facts in your Google Classroom. So, later I will show you po yung aking classroom para makita nyo po how I usually put materials under each of the topics. Okay, so this is how we create topics. And then, for example, you want to check the attendance of your student. Sorry, I forgot to put the topic attendance. Okay, i-add po natin. Attendance. Add. And then, pwede nyo po siyang, saan napunta si attendance? Ayun. Pwede nyo po siyang i-move. Just click, hold, and drag it wherever you want to place the topic. So, pwede nyo po siyang i-click sa pinakaibaba or kung saan nyo po gustong ilagay. So, for this demo, let's put it next to preliminaries. If you want to check the attendance, my practice is to usually ask question and then I would write there attendance. Let's say 10, 28, 21, instruction, kindly click the present button below if you are here today. So, present. Caps lock po natin para pareho dun sa ilalagay natin. So, instead of short answer, you click multiple choice. And then in option 1, you write there, present. All caps, present. And then, kung ilang points po siya, let's say 1. Due date, so 28. And then, kung anong oras, kung hanggang anong oras po. So, in our case, we said that the meet is up to 12 in the afternoon. So, let's just put it as the due date. For topic, you put it under attendance. And then, ask. Alright, so under attendance, you could see here, the attendance, and then you could your student would just click on the present button. Create, let's say, assignment. So for assignment, maybe I could integrate here Google Forms. So I'll stop the discussion here. We will go first to Google Classroom, and then later we will upload the assignment that we will create in the Google form. Let us go to Google Form. Just like Google Classroom, you could type forms.google.com in your URL, and you will be directed to Google Forms. Okay. So there you go. Or the other way around, let's close this tab. You may go to Google Forms by clicking the waffle button from your Gmail or from your Google Drive. So, in this case, let's use the Gmail. So, katulad din sa Google Drive, you can find the waffle button here. So, look for forms. There you go. Again, this is similar to the one that we had a while back when we type forms.google in the URL. So, normally I start with a new form, but in Google Forms, there are different ways for you to utilize it. So, you could use it in checking attendance, in making invitations. So, in our case, let's just start a new form. So, blank. Okay. So, you write here the title, for example, Assignment 1. Or, okay, let's make it Assignment 1. This form submission. Okay. So you could write here your instruction or your general instruction if you have any. And then this form is automatically collecting emails for Department of Education. You may change settings there if you wanted to. Let's say we want to make this a quiz, and then release grades immediately after each submission so that your students may know already their scores. So ito po yung hindi mo na kailangang mag-check kasi Google Form will do it for you. And then at the same time, parang nabibigyan nyo na sila ng feedback, di ba? When our students take their quizzes, it's nice when they get immediate feedback for them to evaluate themselves, for them to know also if they have the correct answer or why are they marked wrong. So, ako po, usually I click immediately after each submission. And then, kung gusto nyo makita nung bata yung missed questions, yung correct answers, yung point values, you just activate it. If you don't like, then you just you just disable it. Disable, enable to the right, disable to the left, enable to the right, disable, enable. And then default question point value 1 point. That's the default, but you may change it if you like. So presentation, let's just show. Actually, bago po ito this is also the first time that I see this enhancement. Maybe hindi po ganito yung dating Google form, but the secret to knowing it is to explore it. Hindi po natin matututunan pag hindi natin in-explore. Show progress bar, so para nakikita nila malapit na ba silang matapos, you just enable it. Shuffle question order, ayan, i-shuffle para maiwasan yung pagkokopyahan, especially if it is under time pressure. So, magkakabago-bago yung question order. Yung number 1 question mo for student A may be your number 5 question for student B. And number 3 question for student C. So, after submission, confirmation, message, your response has been recorded. So, you may edit it. For example, the message that you like to send your student is, please take a screenshot of your score and upload it to your Google Classroom. So, ipa-upload nyo po siya para madali nyong ma-record. Thank you. Alright. Save. Show link to submit another response. I usually disabled it. And then view results summary, restrictions, disable auto-save. Defaults. Parang nawala yung dati kasi parang single response lang siya. Naninibago rin po ako. As I have said, this is the first time that I see this Google form with its new functionalities. Collect email addresses by default. So, automatic, i-collect niya yung email. If you disable it, then it will not collect the email of the responses, the respondents. Question default. Settings apply to all new questions. So, hindi ko nakita is yung isang response lang. So, clock mode. Manage how responses are protected. Collect email, yes. Allow response editing, no. Restrict to users in Department of Education. You disable it kasi po kapag naka-restrict siya sa Department of Education, hindi po masasagutan ng student nyo. And then here, ito pala sinasabi ko, limit to 1 response. You enable it para hindi na sila makapag-submit ng panibagong sagot doon sa inyong assignment or doon sa inyong quiz. So, presentation, allow response editing, hindi po natin inallow na ma-edit pa nila pag na-submit. So, I think we're done. We have already included the settings that we want our assignment to have. So, ayun. Once you click on that, automatic it will have the same file name. Minsan hindi, but you just type it. And then, valid email. So, change settings. Okay. So, let's, of course, yung name muna. Surname, first name, and middle initial. So, it is a short answer. And then, you may add question. Okay, so, pwede nyo pong ilagay is grade or year level. Grade, year level. Okay, so, short answer also. So, okay. It should be required. So, this one required, you just enable it. And then, grade year level, enable it. Meaning, if they were not able to fill it out, then they could not proceed to the next section of the assignment or of the quiz. So, in my case, hinihiwalay ko po ito ng section kasi pag hindi nyo po siya hiniwalay, ang tendency, pag nagpatuloy ka dyan at nag-rumble, nag-shuffle ka ng question, mapupunta yung instruction mo sa ilalim, mapupunta yung pangalan sa gitna kasi nasya-shuffle din siya. So, in order to avoid that, what I do is I add section. So, if I add section, dito ko lang i-apply yung shuffle question. So, let's say, maghanap tayo ng quiz. Turuan ko kayo kung papaano from picture, let's say you were able to get a picture from the net and natatamad na kayong mag-type, how are we going to convert it into editable document? So, I'll stop from here. Again, we will go back later. Just recently, I come across a quiz which put a smile on my lips. It's actually entertaining. Let's just use it for demonstration purposes. So, from Facebook, I think I sent it to my daughter. Let me first check on it. Okay, this one. So, this is actually a picture. So, I'll be downloading it. A picture of a certain final exam. Alright, so it's downloaded. I will now go to my downloads. There it goes. Let me just rename it. Right click, rename. And then, let's type assignment number 1. Assignment 1. Enter. So, since it is a picture, we cannot copy paste it. Usually, what I do is, I upload it to Google Drive. This is not Google Drive. So, from the waffle, let's go to the Google Drive. And then, upload your picture. New file upload. From your downloads, you click on the file, open. So, this is the status, starting upload. Alright. So, it's already one upload complete. Let's just refresh it. Alright, here it goes. Assignment 1. So, when you right click on it, then open with Google Docs. So this is originally the picture which we open in Google Docs. If you would notice, okay, so here is the image, and then down below the image, you have there the editable file. So let's just copy paste it, Control C. Then you go to your Word, Microsoft Word, and then you paste it, Control V. So new file, Control Victory V. Alright. And then Control A, meaning all. Let's make the font black. And so here it goes. Hindi lang ganung ayos na ayos, but at least it is editable. It's no longer a picture. So from here, pwede natin tong dalhin sa Google Form. Right. You go back to the Google Form. Alright, assignment 1, and then what's the title of section number 2? Final exam. Let's see, final exam in sorry, it's not final exam. Assignment 1 in Google Classroom. Or simply assignment 1 will do. So, description or instruction, click the best answer. There's no letter anymore kasi pag po nilagyan natin ng letters at na-shuffle siya, mauuna yung letter D sa letter C, sa letter B, or whatever. Basta isa-set po kasi natin siya sa shuffle. So, just click the best answer. Here you go. And then, you write there whatever instruction you want. Add question. Alright, so there you go. Let's just copy the question. So, Mosa Academy, kind of waiting, Maricas, name, teacher. So, we already have the name, the section. So, multiple choice. Write the letter of the correct answer. So, yun po yung ating choose the correct answer. And then, what is the title of the author's piece? So, let's just copy the question. What is the title of the author's piece? Control C, copy. Then, click on this. Control Victory V, pastes. And then, you click on the option. You go back again to your file. So, A, breaking free. Control C. And then, option 1, Control V. Go back to your Word. Option 2, Breaking Dawn. Control C, copy. Go to Google Form. Pastes. Then, option C, Breaking Silence. Copy. Control C. Go to Google Form. Paste. Control Victory V. Go back to Microsoft Word. Breaking Soda, Control C, and then into your Google Form, Control Victory V. So, what is the title of the author's piece? That's the assignment number 1. Let us assume that there is a story being told, and then these are already the questions. So, what's the title of the author's piece? You provide the answer key para ma-check niya yung inyong assignment or yung inyong quiz. Let's say the correct answer is breaking free. So, 1 point and then done. Right? So, you may require them to answer this item or not. In my case, I don't require them kasi there are students who really don't know the answer and they would just leave it. But if you'd like to have it required, then they will force to at least choose one option. And then again, you could add question or you could simply duplicate it since it is a multiple question also. So let's see the second question. who opened to the public a one-sided story. So, let's copy it. Control C, Control V. So, palitan nyo lang yung question. And then, in the same manner, palitan nyo lang din po yung mga options. I just copy it at once. And then, dito ko na lang po siya i-edit. So, we have one, AJ Raval, and then Control C muna para makopy. And then, we have Lolit Solis here already. For ayan, pinaste ko lang po siya. Alisin nyo na lang yung mga letter kasi pag may letter at na-shuffle, magtataka yung bata, nauna pa yung option D ni ma'am. So, Control C, Control X para ma-delete, and then Control V, Victory V para ma-paste, and then delete the letter. And then this one, sobra na siya. You just click on the remove button. So, those are the choices. You add the answer key. Let's say who opened to the public a one-sided story. Let's say the answer is Robin Padilla. So, 1 point done. Next. Again, either duplicate or add question. So, I'll just duplicate it. Third question. What was the agreement that Aljur didn't follow? Control C. And then, since it's already highlighted, when you click Control Victory V, mapapalitan na siya agad. And then, let us see the choices. First, we have buying at Miniso with AJ. Let's paste it here. Second option is holding hands at SM. Control C. Control V. Third option is commenting Yolala on AJ's FB posts. Yolala. So, Control V. And then, last option, not speaking in public. Control C. Control V. Alright. So, let's say the correct answer is not speaking in public. Done. Alright. So, I'll just type the other two questions here and I'll just go back once it is done already. Alright, so we're done. I am done with the 5 multiple choice question. So, upon checking, I could see the total points here. And it is 7. Why? Because the default point is 1 and binigay niya ng point yung name at saka yung grade year level. So, as we have mentioned, we can change it to our preference. So, you just click on the answer and then from the points, click arrow down 0. Again, for grade year level, wala naman siya dapat points. You just click on that question and then click answer key. For the points, click arrow down and then done. Alright? So, if you check on the total points, it becomes 5. And then, as we have mentioned, all the questions will be shuffled. But the choices are not yet shuffled. Near the required tab, you have here 3 dots, vertical dots. You click on it and then there are options like description or go to section based on answer and then shuffle option order. You just click on it and then the the options will be shuffled when you send it to your student. Okay, so let's check the other items. Since I duplicate it when I haven't shuffled the option order yet, then the duplicate copies are not yet shuffled. So for example, this one is already shuffled. When you click duplicate, automatic your next question will also be shuffled. Okay, so let's check if it is shuffled. Ayan, pag naka-shuffled siya, there is a check icon. Okay, so if we want to preview how your Google form will look like, then you just click on this eye image. That's the preview. Click on it. Alright, so this is how it looks. Assignment 1, email, grade, year, level, surname. Did you notice na nasa shuffle siya? Kasi yun yung ating setting. Kaya kung idudugtong nyo sa kanya yung mga tanong nyo, talagang mapupunta yung surname niya sa gitna, yung grade, year, level sa dulo. So, parang yung nakakapagtaka, my God, ba't ganito yung instruction? Ba't ganito yung aming assignment? Ba't ganito yung aming quiz? So, you create section for the actual assignment or quiz. So, let's say, let me write Laura Garcia at Google. Sorry. Let's say Laura Garcia 307 gmail.com, and then grade, year, level, for example, grade 10, and then surname Vigonte, Lorraine Gachi, and then next. Alright, so here goes the questions. This is how your students will see your assignment. Let's say, who deserves to know the truth according to the author? I answer Rudy Baldwin. What was the agreement that Alger didn't follow? Commenting ulala on AJ's FB post, which Kyle was Alger referring to on his post. Let's say Zian Gaza. And what's the title of the author's piece? Breaking Free. Remember, we made this as the first question, but when you send it to your student, it appears on the fourth question. And then who opened to the public one-sided story? Let's have Robin Padilla submit. Alright, I want to view my score. So I got 2 out of 5. If I want to know what the correct answers are, then, example, for this one, who deserves to know the truth, my answer is Rudy Baldwin. I was marked wrong because the correct answer is my family. So, my family pala yung sagot, diba? So, your students would be able to get feedbacks on their answer. Alright. So, I'll just close this tab. That's how you make assignment in Google Form. What if my assignment is not a multiple choice type question? So let's first close the tab, and then again from your Google Drive, let's go to Forms. So let's just create another one. So let's name this quiz 1. Surname, first name, middle initial, short answer, and then of course it is required, and duplicate. I duplicated it. Grade, year, or level. And it is required. So, let's just again see the settings. Make this a quiz. Response. Release grades immediately after each submission. Missed questions, enable. Correct answers, enable. Point values, enable. Default question point value, so 1, but you can change it as you do your quiz. Responses. Collect email. Let's say we don't want to collect their email. Send respondents a copy of their response, so you may turn it on or you may simply turn it off. But in this case, since we do not collect the email addresses, then we cannot send them a copy of their response. See, it's not, there's no clickable options. Then allow response editing, no. Restrict to users in Department of Education, disable. Limit to 1 response, enable. And then presentation, show progress bar, enable. Shuffle question order, enable. And then confirmation message, your response has been recorded, or you may edit it if you like. Show link to submit another response, disable. View result summary, we simply disable it. And then disable autosave for all respondents. Defaults, okay, so form defaults, collect email addresses by default. Let's just disable it. And then question default, make questions required by default. So it's disabled. So it's all set. Let's go back to the questions. So you can see here that we already have 2 points. So para mawala ng points, yung name, you click answer key and then arrow down to make it 0, done. Again, this has still 1 point. So you click on the question and then there's 1 point here. But there is still 1 point here. Maybe later we could see what's wrong with that. Other instances na nag-encounter talaga siya ng glitches. You just try to go back later. So in this case, I should have created another section. But then instead of clicking this button, I accidentally click add questions. So the purpose of this trash can is for you to delete it if you want to delete the question. So you just click on it and then add section. So okay, quiz 1. Let's go back to the final exam of Mosang Academy. So, enumeration on her now deleted Instagram story. Kylie listened to 4 songs on Spotify 3 hours after Alger's revelation. List the 4 songs together with their artists. Alright, so Control C. And then, go to your Google Classroom. Add question. Control V. So, enumerate. That would be your instruction, for example. Enumerate what is asked. So, since it is enumeration, you have here the choices of what kind of test you want to give your student. It could either be short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes, drop down, or file upload. Mag-upload sila ng file nila. Let's say, sa papel nila isinulat, pinicturan, i-upload na lang nila. We have the linear scale kung gumagawa kayo ng research. pwede nyo itong gamitin. And then multiple choice grid, checkbox grid, and then the date, the time. So, in our case, let's just have a short answer. Alright, so the student will just list them their answer. So, on her now deleted Instagram story, Kylie listened to 4 songs on Spotify 3 hours after Aljur's revelation. Period. List the 4 songs together with their artists. So, it's hard to specify the answer because Google form is sensitive. Kapag inilagay nyo yung answer key, let's say add correct answer, bahay kubo, bahay kubo, greatest love of all, etc. Okay. So, let's say you type in those words as the correct answer. So, if it is, let's say it's 4 points na lang. 4 points. Done. Kapag nagsagot yung bata, kahit bahay kubo at all, greatest love of all, kaso, hindi niya nasundan yung pagka-capitalization ng first letter, mamamark siya as wrong. So, exact answer kasi talaga siya. So, in that case, you would be checking it manually. The score when it will be returned to your student will be 0. So, you may either change from the setting instead of giving the answer right away. Alright, limit to response, presentation, restriction, defaults. Nasaan na yun? So, okay. Ayan. So, later, after manual review, i-manual review nyo na lang para hindi bumalik na 0 yung answer ng bata. And you could give consideration also kung hindi lang niya na i-capitalize or what. So, let's go back to this question. Naka 1 point pa rin siya. What if we delete it and then we try again to write a grade, year, level. Alright, so short answer. Right. See, lumabas na yung answer key nung dinelete natin siya and we make another one. So, click answer key and then 0.0, done. Yeah. So, there was just a glitch nga lang. So, total points 4. If you want to preview, just click on the I button and then you fill it out and then you will see how your Google form will look like on the part of your students. As promised, let me walk you through to my Google Classroom. So, I'll go first to my archive classes so I could restore it. Alright, so when you go to your classes, you will see that I have now 2 classes. I'll click on this class, and then for the classwork, this is how I organize my topics. Okay. So, on the left side, you could see here my topics. I have materials, meet recordings, term exam, quizzes, project, activities, participation, recitation, promptness, frequently asked question, virtual assistant, consultation hour. So, for the materials, I usually upload there my materials. Okay, when you click on that, you would see that I have here the syllabus and then the video discussion and then the preliminaries. So I give them a short summary of what the video is all about. And then for the chapter 1, it's similar. And then, ayan, there are some other instructional materials aside from this short explanation. Ayan, so related literature. This is technology research. So, conceptual framework, definition of terms, and then I instructed them to download these applications, and then I have uploaded also some recorded video discussion. So, those are my materials. And then, I have here the meet recordings. Kasi, normally, we record every meeting for the benefit of those who were not able to attend the class due to intermittent internet connection, or for those who have attended the class but want to listen to the discussion again. And then, term exam, 30%. This is actually our grading system. I put it in the topics so that the students are aware, oh, my term exam will be this much in the computation of my grades. And then quizzes, project and activities, participation, recitation, promptness. You see, ito po yung mga attendance ko. And then, frequently asked questions. Okay, as I have also promised, I'll be sharing it with you. So, this one, dun sa question, yung parang sa attendance na ginawa natin. So, first question, should I attend the consultation of grade? So, ilalagay nyo na yung sagot. Yes, it is very important that you attend the consultation of grades. In cases where discrepancy of course between record and your output, just prepare the necessary screenshot or supporting documents to validate your claim. And then, ano pa yung mga frequently asked question, yung laging paulit-ulit na tinatanong ng estudyante nyo. Can I be given a higher grade because I am scholar? Computation answer, computation of grades for scholars are similar to those of the non-scholars. In giving grades, transparency and fairness will always be exercised. Question, can I message you personally for questions? You are always welcome, provided that you have read the materials or policies already before asking questions, and so on, so forth. Kasi nga, kung minsan nakalagay niya na dyan sa classroom, but they still kept on asking. So, it gives us the impression that you do not read the uploaded materials nor listen to the uploaded video. Okay. And then, normally hindi po ako gumagawa ng GC kasi masyadong maingay. Ang ginagawa naming parang Facebook wall is yung sa stream, or actually I think I have here consultation hour. So in this consultation hour, dyan sila nagtatanong, and then their classmates may answer pag alam yung sagot sa tanong nila. Otherwise, I could check on it. So, another question, I was not able to take my midterm final exam. Will I be allowed to take it? So, you write there your answer. Schedule of midterm exam is given a week or two before the actual date. Make sure to find ways to secure stable internet connection. And then, no special exam will be given. However, if after the final computation of grades, you got a failing grade, a remedial exam will be given to you. So, ilagay nyo na yung laging madalas itanong ng estudyante, ilagay nyo rin yung sagot para hindi kayo mapagod ng kasasagot sa kanila. Ayan. So, I have the virtual assistant and then the consultation. So, feel free to comment below lahat ng mga tanong nila. Pwede nilang i-comment dito. And then, sasagutin nyo na lang. Okay, so, ayan. Makikita nyo dito sa left side yung inyong mga topics. Okay, go. I think I was not able to show you the attendance. So, in my case, attendance is under promptness. Katulad to, nung ginawa natin kanina sa attendance. So, you could see here, I have already recorded this one. You could see here that, okay, so ito hindi ko pa na-record. 48 has already turned in, but there are 4 who did not click the present button, and so this would be marked as absent. So you just click on this 48 and you will see who are present. Alright. We go back. I noticed kanina that in my stream, okay, so you could announce here other important things that you want to tell the class. For example, this one, 10, 22, 21, that was last week. So I gave them an instruction that, guys, the College of Industrial Technology will have its accreditation from October 25 to 29. So, kung ano man yung gusto nyo sabihin sa kanila, actually, we have our accreditation this week. Nagpaalam lang po ako. Kaya kung napansin nyo, I just did the presentation ngayong gabi, up to this morning. I was surprised when Mr. Pabustan told me, Mare, bukas na yung extension. Sabi ko, oh my God, we were really too busy. But I have to make my promise to Sir Pabustan. So, as you can see here, this is our first meeting, October 6. So, this is the link. And then, if you would notice, I just put another date, because we utilize the same link all throughout the semester. So, how do we do it? From your classwork, again, you go to your Google Calendar. I'll just demonstrate to you how to put it in your calendar. So, let's say 22 yun, Alright. Ang huli pala is 13. Alin? 13, 20. So, 20. October 20. Ayun po siya. TR Drafting 3G 10, 20, 21. So, if you would click these 3 buttons, you just click duplicate and then change the date from October 20, so 27, and here's your calendar. So, susunod na is November 3. And then, wala na kayong iibahin kasi normally pareho lang namang oras yung pag-meet natin sa kanila. If you want to modify, then just click on those button and pili na lang kayo kung anumang changes ang gusto nyong gawin. And then save. So, lalabas sa calendar nyo sa November 3. Okay, here it goes. Makikita nyo, nandun na yung inyong event. Okay? Naantok na ang lola niya. So, going back. Alright. So, ayan. Kapag may meet kami, I'll just put it on top. Move to top. You will see when you refresh, it's okay. When you refresh, it's on top already. We now move on with giving grades and feedbacks. The first thing that you have to do is from the Stream tab, you click the settings icon for you to enter your grading system. So you look for grading, and then you have here overall grade calculation. You have 3 options: no overall grade, total points, and weighted by category. So we choose this, and then show overall grade to students. I actually enable it so that the grades are visible to the students. And then add grade category. So kung napansin nyo kanina sa classwork ko, naka-indicate doon yung mga topics and then the grade corresponding each of the topics there. So, let's say, ang term exam ay 30, term exam, 30%. And then, add grade category, quizzes, 20%. And then, so nakikita nyo, may remaining pang 50. What else? Project and activities, 30%. What else? We have participation, slash recitation, 15%. And so we have remaining 5% that goes to promptness. 5%. So, for a total of 100%. And then save. So, that's how you set your grading system. And then, on the grades tab, for example, this one, you could see their submissions and the grade you give to them. But, however, because wala pang estudyante dito, it's hard to give a demonstration. Maybe I'll just use my classroom again. Utilizing my Google Classroom, let us go first to classwork. And then under classwork, under participation, I ask them to upload their COR. So, due date is November 2. 28 has already turned in their COR. Okay. So, as you can see, ayan, you just give them their grade. So, this is over 5 return. And then, Clasio, okay, 5 return. Comma, 5 return. Okay, this one has no submission yet, but I cannot give her a grade of 0 because it is not due yet. So maybe I could just add a comment, please upload your COR. Thank you. And then posts. The student will receive it. So that's also the way you give feedbacks. For example, you want to comment something on their submission. So that's how you give them grades and return the grades to your students. And then, what else? Let me check on a quiz. Okay, so this one. Quiz 1. 39 has turned in, 8 has not turned in, but it's due last October 19. So, pwede ko na silang bigyan ng grade. And then, I have already recorded 5 submissions. So, from here, that is why I tell them to take a screenshot of their score. So, this one has no attachment. I could give him a grade of 0. Weren't you able to take quiz 1? So, they may reply on this private comment. Nalalaman mo kung talaga bang hindi siya nakapag-quiz. Return, 0. Pwede nyo nang i-return kasi tapos na yung due date. So, this one, wala rin. You just give her grade. And then this one has her score. Just click the plus sign to enlarge it and then pull it. So you have there 6/10. Return. So this is no attachment. So this one, nag-attach siya. Alright, ayun pala. Nakalagay din 6/10. Yung iba kasi, they do attach but they would not include their score, and sometimes other would not include their name. So kapag ganon, I give a private comment to please re-upload showing the score and the name. So return. Okay, so that's the way you record their scores. And then if you, for example, you wanted to see their grades, you could just click on the names and you will see there the detailed grade of the student. This one, 90. Why? Hindi ko pa ito na-check, so hindi pa siya pumapasok sa grade niya. Attendance 1/1. Quiz 1, 8/10. And then, certificate of registration, 5/5. So, 90%. Take note na sa Google Classroom, walang transmutation of grade. Medyo mataas talaga yung standard niya. But, for example, you want to make a computation of grade, then you simply download it in spreadsheet form. And you do the transmutation manually. Let me share another example, this time from a previous semester class, para makita nyo kung paano yung nagiging final grade nila. Again, let us get a class from the archive. Let me just choose a class. Let's say this one. Industrial Engineering, and then grades. Okay. Since this has already been done, you could see from the grades tab in their Google Classroom their overall grade. So, you have here this name and then he got this final grade. So, sa amin po, ito na po talaga yung ibinibigay kong grade sa kanila. Kasi very transparent naman, makikita nila kung saan sila bumaba, kung tama yung computation kasi it is automatic. Kaya sabi ko nga sa inyo, walang kahirap-hirap. And then, ayan, if you want to see the details, there it goes. And then, for example, you want to see the individual record of the student. Let's say this one. For the final exam, he got 30/30, part 1 and part 2, both 30/30, quiz 7, problem 2, project, midterm exam, quiz 6, quiz 5, and so on and so forth, and other requirement. So, from here, makikita niya, dito pala ako bumaba sa quiz number 6. And then, ma-recognize niyo rin kung late ba niya ginawa or sinubmit yung kanyang requirement. In their end, makikita rin nila doon sa kanilang classwork. So, kung ano yung nakikita niyo ditong detail ng grade ng bata, the same would be shown to the student. That's why it is very transparent. Kung may kulang sila, kitang-kita nila na wala silang na-submit as indicated by the paper clip. Let us now try if we could import their grades to spreadsheet. So again, from the grade, maybe let's first restore the class. Right. So the class has been restored already. If you go to classes, we have here 3 classes. So let's go to the grades, and then just click on one of the title of the submission, and then click the settings icon, download all grades as CSV. Let's see what will happen. So exporting CSV. I think it's this one. So automatic, it will be imported as Excel file, CSV, or Excel workbook. Let's try. Again, it's my first time, so I'm not yet familiar with this, but what's good about it is you don't have to enter each of their output. Kaya lang, wala yung final grade. So, maybe you could enter the formula in computing the grades, and then when you come up with the computation of grades, you just link it to that transmutation that you use. However, I think this is not part of our discussion. What I wanted to see is if we could import it as a spreadsheet file. Kasi dati na-i-import siya as a spreadsheet. Siguro, the reason for the change is, to be honest, mas gamay kasi natin yung Excel as compared to spreadsheet. Let me just check on this again. If this is... Alright. So, this is how the spreadsheet looks like. So, if you would notice, medyo similar lang din siya sa Excel. You have here the sheet. If you want to duplicate, then it's duplicated. If you want to rename, you could write there section B. So, di ba, parang parehong-pareho lang siya ng Excel. But just the same, hindi na i-import yung final grade kasi nga it is expected na yun na talaga yung grade nila. Kaya you will enter the formula here in spreadsheet or in Excel for you to come up with the transmuted grade. And then, siguro, since nandito na rin lang tayo sa spreadsheet, let me just tell you the different ribbons. So, we have the file, edit, view, insert, format, data, tools, add-ons, and help. So, it's almost similar nga sa Microsoft Excel. Yun lang, medyo hindi natin siya gaanong gamay, but the power of spreadsheet is you could share it with some other people so that if you want them to help you with what you are doing, then you could collaborate on them. You just type in their names, let's say sample, this one, and then send, or actually you could also send it through link. Okay. Share, get link, just make sure. Okay, ito naka-share lang sa Bulacan State University. Pwede nyong baguhin yung setting. Restricted kung sino lang yung i-add nyo or anyone with the link. So, Pag anyone with the link, ma-open siya ng kahit sino. Pwede ring restricted kung sino lang yung padala nyo ng link. So, copy, done. Let's say I want to send it to the one which I shared it with. Something like that. And then, enter. Makikita nyo, kung halimbawa, we work simultaneously, merong mga picture dito telling you that 3 persons are on this same spreadsheet and so on and so forth. So, it is easy to finish something kasi nakakapag-collaborate kayo. Let me show you some spreadsheet files. So, just like how you get into Google Classroom and Google Form, you may simply type in spreadsheet google.com, or you may also access it through the waffle button. Okay, so from here you can see that I have here, for example, quality assurance plan. Okay, so there are instances now we need to do things right away. What I usually do in cases like that is, for example, we are asked to make a quality assurance plan. So there are 10 areas. I would make a template for area 1, and then I will simply copy it and then rename area 2 until I reach area 10. Let's say there are 11 areas. So what you will do is to simply click the arrow and then duplicate and then rename. So area 11, for example. Enter. So as you can see, the template is there already. For area 1 kasi, kaya there are these entries, it has already been answered. But the real template is just this one. So that the person in charge for each area will start encoding their answers on these columns. And it would be done easily kasi sabay-sabay kayong gumagawa, nakakapagtulungan kayo. What are some other parts of this drop down? So you have your hide, shift, protect, change color. Okay, for example, you want to change the color to this one. Okay. And then this one, you want to make it green. Change color green. Alright, so those are just some of the functions of the spreadsheet. Let me check if I have other spreadsheet files. Ito lang talaga yung pinakamahalagang gamit ng spreadsheet for you to collaborate so that madali nyong magagawa kung ano mang task yung pinagagawa sa inyo. Again, from the waffle button, let me see my files, attendance, for in-house presentation, a faculty research proposal. Alright, so these spreadsheets came from the Google form. Let me show it to you. Let us see how these spreadsheets were created from the Google Forms. So, from your waffle button again, let's go to Forms. And then, let's just have quiz 1. Okay, this one. So, you could see here that there are 138 responses already. You click on that tab And then this is the spreadsheet icon. So you click on it, create a new spreadsheet, create. So automatically you have there the score of the student, and then for each column yung mga sagot niya. That is why if you are making survey from Google Form, there is no need for you to enter it manually. Diba kapag nagsisurvey tayo, ini-encode natin respondent A, and then individually, ano yung sagot niya per question. And then later on, yun yung pinapasok natin sa SPSS, for example. So in this case, kapag nag-survey ka using the Google Form, walang hirap. Kahit 1,000 respondents pa yan, automatic, when you click the spreadsheet button, their answers will already be in your spreadsheet. So, ayan, that's how spreadsheet is made based on your Google Forms. So, then sa ilalim nakalagay form responses. I hope this helps. Another thing is how do we give assignments. I remember na stop tayo dan a while back because we inserted Google Form. So, this is how we give assignments. Click create, and then quiz assignment. You could click assignment or quiz assignment. Okay, got it. Usually, I don't start from the blank quiz here, but I simply uploaded the link of the assignment that I do. So, from your waffle bar again, you click on forms, and then, oops, wala dito yung ginawa natin. You could search assignment 1. There you go. So, you just click send, this one, the purple one. And then this one, the link. You could see that it has a very long link. So, you shorten URL before you send it to whoever you are planning to send it. Masakit kasi sa mata tignan kapag mahaba yung inyong mga links. So, click copy. And then, we go back to your classroom. This is assignment 1. And then, add link, control V, add link. Okay, so you have there assignment 1. For category, let's say, ilagay natin siya sa activities. Then, how many points is this? If I remember it right, 5 points. Yan po yung ginawa natin kanina na assignment. And then, due date, for example, is next week. So, that would be Thursday, November 4. So, let's say you want to make it at 11:59 p.m. And then, that would be under what? Under, that nilagay sa only as materials, other matters, preliminaries, project, and activities. Alright. So, double check. Okay, assign. Yan. So, lalabas na siya dun sa inyong Google Classroom under projects. And then, if you're going to check on your classes, makikita nyo meron na dyang due today, 12 p.m. attendance, then 0.2821. And then, kasi malayo pa naman, hindi pa siya lumabas dito. So, makikita nyo yung mga classwork that is about to become true. One more thing before I end my presentation is maybe you have noticed that my lecture video is in YouTube. It's not because I want you to subscribe to my channel, because it is not in public actually. It's not really for subscription, but I became used to uploading my videos in YouTube because we all know that videos consume a lot of storage. If I am going to save it in my drive, then especially if it is a regular Gmail account only, sandali lang mapupuno yon. But in the case of institutional account, it is unlimited naman. However, we do not know kung hanggang kailan magsasubscribe yung inyong institution dyan sa domain na yan. And so, still, it is not safe to save all your files in the drive. Just like in our case, if I'm not mistaken, sooner or later, we might not be able to continue subscription with this Google Workspace, and we never, as of now, we are not sure yet what will happen to our files that was saved in the drive. So little by little, personally, I am migrating my files just to make sure, or I am making backups of my file. So as a tip, for you not to be able to consume your limited storage, you upload your video in the YouTube, and at the same time, when you want to send it to somebody else, you just get the shareable link and then you send it to them. Paano po nakukuha yung shareable link? So, I think I have demonstrated it a while back. Maybe from these 3 dots, you get shareable link. Pwede rin naman, pag ipinlay nyo siya, di ba? You have the URL, Control-C, copy, and then Control-V kung kanino nyo man isesend. So, that's the reason why yung aking mga lecture video is being saved in YouTube. At this point, allow me to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to listen, and I am happy to share with you some among the best practices which I believe will help you as you implement your online or blended learning. Thank you, and God bless everyone.